Howdy, hello, and welcome to our podcast episode number 92. A new legend rises as Poe prepares to train his successor. I am Timothy, and I am here with my dear friend Thomas. Today, we are going to discuss a film called Kung Fu Panda 4. There will be spoilers. Kung Fu Panda 4 is a 2024 American animated martial arts comedy film about Poe, who must find his successor as the new dragon warrior and team up with fox bandit Zen to defeat evil sorceress the Chameleon before she steals kung fu abilities from all masters in China. Tom, did you like Kung Fu Panda 4?
Well, Timothy, I am quite pleased with Kung Fu Panda 4. It's an enjoyable film for both kids and adults alike. But first of all, I think they should have just called it Kung Fu Panda 3. The Return of the Chameleon or something like that.
Why not just call it Kung Fu Panda 4? They've already had a 2 and a third one. Moving on, Tom, what did you think about the new character Zen? I thought she added an interesting dynamic to the familiar cast.
Oh, Timothy, I don't know about that. I mean, sure, she was okay, but I missed the old gang from the previous films. It just doesn't feel like a Kung Fu Panda movie without Master Shen, or even Lord Shen, as he likes to be called nowadays. And what about General Kai? He wasn't even in this one.
Well, I think it was good for the franchise to mix things up a bit. You know, how some series can get stale if they just rehash the same old formula time after time. It's refreshing to have new characters and villains to root for or against, as the case may be. What about you?
Well, I don't know, Timothy. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but it just doesn't feel like a proper Kung Fu Panda movie without them. Plus, Zen's voice sounded a bit too American.
Well, Tom, the world is becoming more and more interconnected. We can't expect every character to have a British accent, can we? Besides, I thought she did an all right job portraying a rough and tumble fox bandit turned unlikely hero.
Well, I guess you're right about that anyway. Let's move on to the plot itself. So, Poe has trained his successor. What do you make of that, Timothy?
Well, Tom, I thought it was a clever move by the writers to introduce a new character like Zen, as it allowed for some interesting character development and growth for Poe. You know, how important it is for a mentor to pass on their knowledge and skills to someone they trust. And I think Poe has found that in Zen...
I suppose you're right about that, Timothy. But don't you think it's a bit premature, though? After all, Poe only just became the dragon warrior himself in the last film. It's a bit rushed, isn't it?
Well, Tom, I understand your concern, but we must remember that this is an animated movie, and things do tend to move a little faster than real life. Plus, it's not like Poe is completely leaving the scene. He will still be around as a wise mentor and guide for his successor, and who knows? Maybe there will be future sequels where we see him return to the spotlight. What do you think, Tom?
Well, I suppose you're right about that too, Timothy. But I still miss the old gang Sai anyway. Moving on to the villain, the Chameleon. She sounded really menacing in the trailer. What did you think of her character and motives?
Well, Tom, I thought she was well-designed and quite menacing herself. A shape-shifting sorceress who can steal the martial arts skills of other masters sounds like a formidable opponent for Poe and company. However, I felt her motivations were a bit cliche. You know, wanting to become the ultimate master by stealing others' abilities. It's been done before, hasn't it?
Yeah, Timothy, you're right about that. But hey, it's a kids' movie. They don't need complex storylines, right? Anyway, let's talk about the action scenes. What did you think of the fight choreography and the use of kung fu in this film?
Well, Tom, I thought the fight scenes were well choreographed and entertaining. They managed to incorporate some new moves while still paying homage to the franchise's roots. The way Po and Zen worked together was quite enjoyable to watch, especially that scene where they used their staffs like a pair of nunchucks. It reminded me of my favorite action movie from the 80s.
Oh, Tim, you know I hate to admit this, but you're right about that one. It was quite a spectacle, wasn't it? Anyway, we've talked a lot about the main characters and plot points, but what about the supporting cast? How did they fare in your opinion?
Well, Tom, I thought the supporting cast added some much-needed humor to the film. Master Shifu's reluctant mentorship of Zen was quite funny, especially when he tried to teach her inner peace. And of course, there's Po's dad's Mr. Ping, and who always bring a smile to my face with their bickering and banter. They truly are the comic relief of the film. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, Timothy, I agree with you there. But let's move on to the animation itself. How did you find it compared to the previous films in the franchise?
Well, Tom, I must say that the animation in Kung Fu Panda 4 is a step up from its predecessors. The visuals are more vibrant and detailed than ever before. You can almost feel the wind blowing through your hair during the action scenes, especially that climactic battle at the top of the skyscraper was quite breathtaking.
Oh, you mean when Po and Zen fought against the chameleon while trying to save Master Shifu?
Yeah.
That scene was indeed something else. But what about the voice acting? I thought Jack Black did an excellent job portraying the aging Po. Don't you think so, Timothy?
Well, Tom, I thought the voice acting was top-notch across the board. Jack Black really brought an emotional depth to his performance as aging Po. And I thought Awkwafina did a fantastic job portraying Zen's rough and tumble demeanor. The chemistry between them was palpable throughout the film, But moving on to the soundtrack, what did you think about the music in Kung Fu Panda 4?
Well, Timothy, I thought it was quite fitting for an animated action comedy like this one. It had some catchy tunes that stuck in my head for days afterward, but let's not forget about the directorial choices made by Mike Mitchell. He did a fantastic job of balancing humor and action. Don't you think so?
Yes, Tom, I agree with you there. The directorial choices were spot on, especially in those epic fight scenes that we talked about earlier. Kung Fu Panda 4 is definitely worth watching for both old fans and newcomers alike, don't you think?
Well, Timothy, as much as I miss the old gang, I must admit that Kung Fu Panda 4 managed to surprise me with its fresh take on the franchise. The new characters, especially Zen, bring a breath of fresh air to the series, and the storyline is engaging from start to finish. The animation and voice acting are top-notch, and the humor and action sequences are expertly balanced. So, yes, I think Kung Fu Panda 4 is worth watching. But what about you, Timothy?
Well, Tom, as much as I miss the old gang too, I must agree with you. Kung Fu Panda 4 managed to surprise me with its fresh take on the franchise. The new characters, especially Zen, bring a breath of fresh air to the series. And the storyline is engaging from start to finish. The animation and voice acting are top-notch, and the humor and action sequences are expertly balanced. I particularly enjoyed the way the film dealt with themes like aging mentorship and finding one's place in the world. It's a story that resonates with audiences of all ages, not just children. As for the directorial choices made by Mike Mitchell, he did an exceptional job of balancing humor and action. The fight scenes were well choreographed and entertaining, but they never overshadowed the film's core message about friendship, family, and finding your own path in life. Overall, Kung Fu Panda 4 is a delightful addition to the franchise, and I can't wait to see where the series will go from here. But before we wrap up today's episode, Timothy, there are still a few things I wanted to discuss with you. Firstly, what did you think about the casting choices for the new characters? In particular, I was impressed by Awkwafina's portrayal of Zen and her chemistry with Jack Black's Poe. Well, Tom, I agree with you on both counts. Awkwafina brings a fresh new energy to the role of Zen. And her chemistry with Jack Black is palpable. The other new cast members also did an excellent job in their respective roles, adding depth and richness to the already well-established universe of Kung Fu Panda. As for the direction, I thought Mike Mitchell did a fantastic job of balancing humor and action. The film managed to strike the perfect balance between being entertaining for children and engaging enough for adults. The visuals were stunning, with vibrant colors and detailed animation that transported me right into the world of Kung Fu Panda. But enough praise, Timothy.
Let's talk about our favorite moments from the film.
What scene stood out to you the most? Was it the climactic battle atop the skyscraper, or maybe something more subtle, like Poe's emotional journey throughout the movie?
You know, Timothy, I have to say that my favorite moment from Kung Fu Panda 4 was when Po and Zen were trying to escape the chameleon's lair. There was this one scene where they had to climb up these rickety stairs while being chased by a bunch of snakes controlled by the sorceress. It was both tense and hilarious at the same time, especially when Po slipped on a banana peel. Laugh. But I also liked the emotional journey that Po went through during the film. From dealing with his aging body to finding a worthy successor, he learned some important life lessons along the way.
Well, Tom, you're right about both points. That scene in the lair was certainly entertaining, and it showcased the chemistry between Jack Black and Awkwafina perfectly. As for Poe's emotional journey, I agree that it was a highlight of the film. It really made me think about my own life and the importance of passing on knowledge to the next generation. But let's not forget about some of the other characters in the movie. What did you think of Zen's development throughout Kung Fu Panda 4?
Oh, Timothy, I thought she was an excellent addition to the franchise. She started off as a rough and tumble fox bandit, but gradually softened up during her time with Po and Master Shifu. By the end of the film, she had become a skilled warrior who could hold her own against the chameleon. I also liked how she developed a close bond with Poe's father, Mr. Ping. It added some warmth to what could have been just another action-packed adventure.
Yes, Tom Zen's development was one of the best parts of Kung Fu Panda 4 for me, too. She started off as a bit of a loner, but ended up forming strong relationships with both Po and Mr. Ping. It showed that even the toughest characters can have a soft side when they let people in. As for other characters, how about Master Shifu? I thought his role in this film was quite significant compared to previous installments.
You're indeed right, Timothy. In Kung Fu Panda 4, we got to see a different side of Master Shifu as he tried to teach Zen the ways of Kung Fu. He even had some funny moments with Mr. Ping and Li Shan, which made me laugh out loud. I think the writers did an excellent job of developing his character in this film.
Yes, Tom, I couldn't agree more. Master Shifu was one of my favorite characters in Kung Fu Panda 4. He added a lot of depth and humor to the storyline while still being a wise mentor figure for both Zen and Po. But now that we've discussed our favorite moments and characters, let me ask you a question that I've been dying to know the answer to. What cultural impact do you think Kung Fu Panda 4 will have on its audience?
That's an interesting question, Timothy. On one hand, it introduces kids to Chinese martial arts and culture through the medium of animation. On the other hand, it also presents a westernized version of these traditions, which could be seen as both good and bad by some people. However, overall, I think Kung Fu Panda 4 will have a positive cultural impact because it showcases the importance of family, friendship, and mentorship, while also promoting values like self-discipline and hard work. What do you think, Timothy?
Well, Tom, I agree with you that Kung Fu Panda 4 has both positive and negative cultural implications. However, I believe that its message of unity and overcoming adversity will outweigh any potential negative aspects. The film also does an excellent job of portraying Chinese culture in a respectful manner while still making it accessible to Western audiences. In the end, I think Kung Fu Panda 4 is a great example of cross-cultural storytelling that can bring people together through shared experiences and values.
That's an interesting point, Timothy. In a world where cultural misunderstandings and divisions are still prevalent, films like Kung Fu Panda 4 can play a crucial role in bridging these gaps and fostering mutual understanding. By presenting different cultures side by side, it allows audiences to learn about each other's traditions without fear of judgment or stereotyping. And I think the characters in this film are excellent ambassadors for their respective cultures. They show that even though we may have differences, we can still come together and support one another when times get tough.
Indeed, Tom, the way Kung Fu Panda 4 portrays Chinese martial arts and culture is not only entertaining, but also educational. It introduces Western audiences to aspects of Chinese history and philosophy that they might not be familiar with otherwise. For example, the film incorporates elements from Taoism, such as the concept of yin and yang, which are fundamental principles in Chinese philosophy. By doing so, it encourages viewers to think more deeply about these ideas and how they can apply them to their own lives.
That's a great point, Timothy. And let's not forget about the humor in Kung Fu Panda 4. It adds an extra layer of relatability for both Western and Eastern audiences alike. The banter between Po, Zen, Master Shifu, Mr. Ping, and Li Shan often crosses cultural boundaries with their witty jokes and puns. This shared laughter helps to create a sense of camaraderie among viewers who might otherwise feel disconnected due to cultural differences.
Exactly, Tom. The film's ability to balance humor with action drama with lighthearted moments and Western sensibilities with Chinese traditions is what makes it so successful in bridging these divides. It shows that even though we may have different backgrounds or ways of life, we can still find common ground through shared experiences like friendship, family, and the pursuit of personal growth.
Well, said Timothy, I think Kung Fu Panda 4 is not only an entertaining film, but also a powerful tool for promoting cultural understanding and appreciation among its audience. It proves that stories transcend borders, and when told respectfully and thoughtfully, they have the power to unite us all in our shared human experience. So what do you think about Kung Fu Panda 4's chances of being a box office hit?
Oh, well, I wouldn't be surprised if it broke records. The film has already garnered positive reviews from both critics and audiences alike, and its mix of humor, action, and heartfelt storytelling is sure to resonate with viewers of all ages. Plus, the franchise's built-in fan base, coupled with the movie's family-friendly appeal, make it a strong contender for commercial success. I'm excited to see how far Kung Fu Panda 4 will go in bringing people together through its engaging narrative and entertaining storytelling.
Well, Timothy, it's been an absolute delight discussing Kung Fu Panda 4 with you today. I must say, this film truly exceeded my expectations in terms of its storytelling, animation, and character development. The fresh take on the franchise with new characters like Zen breathed a much-needed breath of fresh air into the series, while still paying homage to the original cast members. The film's themes of aging, mentorship, friendship, and finding one's place in the world resonated deeply with me. It's a heartwarming tale that reminds us that sometimes we need to let go and embrace change even if it's difficult.
I agree with you, Tom. Kung Fu Panda 4 was an excellent addition to the franchise. The film managed to balance humor and action perfectly while still delivering a heartfelt story about friendship, family and finding one's purpose in life.
The visuals were stunning and the voice acting was top-notch. Jack Black's portrayal of Poe was as charming and relatable as ever.
And newcomers like Awkwafina and Ke Huy Quan brought fresh energy to the franchise. The fight scenes were thrilling and the visual effects were simply breathtaking. In conclusion, Kung Fu Panda 4 is a must-watch for both fans of the franchise and newcomers alike. Its themes of growth, love, and acceptance will resonate with audiences of all ages, making it a timeless classic that can be enjoyed time and time again.
So, dear viewers,
we would love to hear your thoughts on Kung Fu Panda 4. Did you enjoy the film as much as we did?
Let us know in the comments section below.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more movie discussions and reviews. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and share it with your friends. Until next time, Kiao.